Hello everyone, it's Teresa here. This is going to be a very short video. Moving day is actually here now in 2 days. So at the moment I'm surrounded by boxes and bags and clutter, but my PC is still where it normally is, and that's going to be the last thing I remove. So as I said, this will be quick, hopefully cheerful, and I just hope you enjoy it. And it's based on photographs I took recently at Whitstable in Kent along the beach. And it was, as you can see, chains, and it's rope here, and it's all inspiration for design and stitchery. The chain actually suggested chain stitch to me. So this is my chosen photograph, and what I've done, I've enlarged it quite a bit to make it more interesting, and from here I followed the lines all the way round here and down there. These are the lines I want. I've made a very rough sketch, and as you can see it is rough. Made this just by following those lines. Now this is the shape that I'm getting from those lines. Now I've elongated them down here, round here, and you can see that shape there. We have this round piece here coming round there, and we've got that here. We've got this lovely curly bit there coming down there, and then this rather like a bit of a D shape here, there, and then round here, and that is where that is. I very loosely just put in these round bits here, just to let me know, just to remind me that this side bit is actually broken up into sections here. Can you see the sections there? Large one at the bottom, and going away into the distance a smaller one. They've all got these sort of oval shapes here, not quite round but oval. Very interesting, and they're in the background here as well, and down there. So now, from there I cut out this shape. Now you can see it, there it is. You can see that shape there. It actually finishes here. I've finished it there, where it finishes on here. So that is the template. Fun bit starts, because from there I cut out two. I place them like this. So I've got two of these shapes now. And if I can work out how these went, and I'm not doing this on the whole thing on the camera because it just takes up time, right? And you really don't need to see me sit and cut paper out. So that is that shape there, and with this one, right, that's that shape. Now with the second one will go here, and let's have a look at that one. That one is a bit thicker, so the second one will go down there. Now if I take the green bit away, so I've made it into a repetitive pattern, and that will go here. So two shapes. All I've done is taken the one shape from the photograph, which is that one. I've cut two of those out, and I've just repeated it, a repetitive design, and that is going to be my basis for design. So that is that one shape now, and it's all joined. I'll take those away. Now the next thing I need to do is to sort out some fabric, and because most of my stuff now is boxed up, it's just a matter of taking what I can see. So I'm going to do that now, prepare the fabric for the template to go. This is the fabric that I've sorted for the background. I've got 3 layers here and no interfacing inside. So this one is very pretty. It's very sheer and it's very see-through. You can possibly see my hand through there. See how sheer that is. So that's going to be the ultimate background, shall we say, the one that's going to face out. This one's going to be the middle piece, and this is very nice too. It's very soft. I just think that is very lovely. And then they're on a calico background. Why I want the stripes there, why I wanted 3 layers, the calico for obvious reasons, because it gives a nice strong background to work on. It's just lovely. And I wanted this, but I also like the idea of the lines showing through this sheer fabric. If I make this bigger, you might be able to see, yeah, I think you can see the lines from the fabric beneath showing through here. And I like that idea because to my mind it complements the linear parts of this design. I like that for that reason, and then the lines will actually complement or contrast, one of our words, contrast with these lovely curves, those shapes there. Not only did I think, well, that's going to really look nice, complement this and contrast with it, but these little pebbles, I'm calling them pebbles because there were, I mean, you can see just a few, but in the photograph you probably see more pebbles. Well, hopefully it was a bit it was a beach, so there should be more. I just think, well, those here, I don't know if, I suppose they're treads of some sort, very much like these. I mean, these are round, they're not oval, but to me it's giving me the impression of pebbles, and this is giving me the impression of sea. You might have to stretch your imagination a bit there, but that looks like the sea at as the sun goes down. I was very tempted to keep that for another project, but I thought, no, I'm going to use it because it's there and I can actually access it. Yes, I'm quite pleased with that. Now, my first task on this is to tack these together, because there's going to be an awful lot of dancing around here. When I'm tacking, I don't really worry about the knot, whether it's on the front or the back. I just need to do a nice tacking stitch all the way around here. Nice big stitches. Finished. Right, now that is done. So the next thing I'm going to do, just flatten that out a little bit. There we are. Now I want to find the middle of this, and all I'm going to do is, I can't see my ruler, but all I'm going to do is basically guess at it. So it will be across there and across there. So I'm guessing that's the middle, and I'm going to place this down roughly in the middle. It doesn't have to be in the middle, you might want yours off centre. It's entirely up to you. Right, I'm going to place it like that. Now I'm going to pin it. Now after I've pinned this down, I'm going to tack all the way around the edge and then carefully lift this off, because I think I can place it again to make some more shapes. So I'm going to continue with that, pinning this, and then I'll tack it. So the tacking is finished. I'll just take these pins out and have a look, and we'll get an idea of how the shape looks at the moment. Right, so let me turn that around that way. So there we are at the moment. You see, you can clearly see the tacking stitches there. Now there's quite a lot of free fabric here either side. At this point I'm not sure whether to finish this with maybe a little bit more. I'm going to cut this up now. I'm just going to chop that up at the join, so I'll end up with two shapes, two of the original shapes here and here. So there they are. There's the two original shapes, one and the other one here. Now I'm going to take one of them and just now play around to see if perhaps I could put another shape in the at the side. Do I need another shape there by the time I've... Oh, I'm not sure. Do I need another shape there? By the time you take, say, the seam allowance off. But first of all, I'm going to start sewing, and I'm going to do a small chain stitch all the way around. I'll probably do that in white thread, so that's my next task. I'm not going to start that on the screen because I don't know where my thread is at the moment. But as soon as I find it, I might just do a little bit on the screen. Oh my goodness, everything's misplaced. So I will start here, and all the way around the outline will be a small chain stitch or a running stitch. No, I'm going to do a running stitch. I'm going to do a small running stitch all the way around the edge, or a long running stitch. Alright, we're going to have coffee first, and then when I get back to you I will have decided whether I'm going to do chain stitch, running stitch or long stitch, which is just a long running stitch, a bit like this. So at the moment I think I'm favouring running stitch. Okay, so when I get back I'll have made a nice start on the running stitch. So this is the first outline done. I'm just going to carry on, I think, maybe do another couple of rows of the running stitch, just trace what I've done here so it ends up with some related lines, which will make some more shapes down here, and it should make some areas of light and dark where it's closer. The stitches are closer here and here. These should or maybe get darker with the more rows that I put in. So that's my plan at the moment. Just carry on with a couple more lines and just see where it goes. I've worked 2 rows here of running stitch side by side. You can see they've made like tram lines all the way through the design. What I'm going to do is actually quilt them from behind. The technique we're going to use is called Italian quilting, and it's a really lovely thing to do. And we're going to take a needle and thread, and from the back we're going to thread the needle and the thread through. You can see the tram lines clearly here. We need to fill the space between the tram lines. And it's really lovely. It makes a lovely raised surface on the front, and some of the designs that can be produced are really spectacular. But what I'm doing, I have a bag of wool here. I'm going to stuff mine with just ordinary double knitting wool. Now I have white wool, but I've specifically chosen a bright pink. And it is very bright, which isn't actually shown on the screen. It looks orange. But I've specifically chosen this colour in case it shows through. And if it shows through, because bearing in mind this top layer is very sheer and the middle layer here isn't that thick, it just might shine through and give another little bit of colour or a little bit of light and shade. But what we do is I'm coming in from the back here. Right, now I'm not going to knot this. I'm not knotting this at all, but I need to be very careful not to pull it through. And this is an ordinary long darning needle with a blunt end. You need a blunt end here so it doesn't pick up any of the fabric. So I'm finding 2, 1, 2, that's the top 2, and then I'm going to find tram lines here, and I'm going inside here between the tram lines, okay, and I'm just going to work that all the way round very, very carefully. This is normally done with 2 layers, or at least 2 layers. When I've done it in the past, I've used 2 layers, of thicker fabric than this. So this is a new experience, I think. I can't remember doing 3, but I probably have in the past. Right, so there. Now I don't know if you could, yeah, you can see that the camera is picking that up very well, I think. You can see that it's raised by the shadow that it's casting here. There's a slight shadow there. Now at the end, I could slit it at the end, but I'm not going to. I'm going to pull it through. Just pull it through here. There. And I need to hold on to the end here. Now, what I normally do as well is have a safety pin here, which I tie this to, but without getting off my chair, I can't actually see a safety pin. So all I'm going to do here is find an ordinary pin, dressmaker's pin there, pop that in there, and I pop that in there and just wind the thread around it to stop me pulling it out. Now that should be quite tight there, and I won't pull that out. So that's the first one. I'm wondering actually if I could get away with 3. I wonder if I could do 3 lots of wool in there. There's a thought. I don't know whether to try 3 actually, or maybe I might be pushing it. Let me just see how much. Yeah, I think I can do 3 in there. So I'm going to do another. Actually, I'm going to try 4. Now I think 4 might be just a little bit too much, but if it is, we can easily nip it out. Easily just take that out. Oh, I think 4 is going to be too much, but hey ho, let's give it a go. So in, as I did before, underneath, between the base or the foundation fabric and layer number 2, let's see. So we're going to push the needle right the way up there. See how far we can get the needle. Now, because this is so short, I can do this practically in one go. But if you have a really long piece to do, then all you would do is bring the needle out and the thread through the back, pull it through, and then you'd reinsert it. But I don't need to do that. I don't think so anyway. Or do I? Oh, we're at the end now. So I shall pull that out. Let's see. This is quite exciting to see how 4 threads going to work. Right, there's the needle, and I'm going to gently pull it. Or not. Oh yes, yeah. Oh, yes, 4 threads, and that's 4 threads of double knitting thread. Right, now I don't think I don't need to tie that off there, because it's, I think it's just a bit tight. So that's 4 there, and that is raised. So I should carry on doing that. Now I'm going to come out from that one there. So I take the needle back in there, and then find that, go in between the next tram lines, and there we are. And I'm going to see if I can turn that corner, and I can't turn that corner there, so I'm going to break into the back and pull the thread through to the back, just keeping one eye on how I'm pulling it. Right, there we go. Yeah, it's a nice effect on the back as well. And then I'm going to go just back in. I'm going to go back. Where are we? Where are we? Going that way, aren't we? Then I'm going to go back in. I'm going in the same slit, but if you've got very thick fabric, you can come out just a little way along, and then I'm going up the other side, and that just allows the needle to go around bends and corners and unusual shapes. There we go. There we go. Now, if a little bit is just hanging out, knotted up like that, I shouldn't worry about it. Now, I've just left that little bit there because it's a very narrow bend there, so that's just, I've just left that little bit, but I've come out here, and then I'm going to carry on in that one now. So I'll go through that one. Right, make sure we've got the right through there. And I'm going to do this with them all until I get round to the end. So there we are. So I'm just going to carry on and do this all the way round. I'm going to go back on that point there. I'm going back through the back like that, and pull it through and do what I did before. Right, I'm going to, oh, I hope I've got enough wool here. I know, oh, I haven't, never mind. So through there, I think, let's see how much wool I've got here. Right, so I could take it to about there, through that little hole there, and I'll bring it out here, and then I should start again. I should load up the needle. There we go. Now this is bunching up because I'm using very thick wool, but those little bits, as I said earlier, those won't matter. So I'm going to cut these off. For the time being, I'm just leaving them. Now when I start this again, after I load up my needle, I'll be starting there at the side and carrying on just as I have done here. Okay, so there we are. You can maybe see the effect already. It's just a lovely, lovely effect. I can't wait to see it done. Okay, so I'm going to carry on until I finish, till I go right the way round here, and then I'll sit back. I'll probably hang it up as I always do, and then decide what to do. But I think I might, at this point, I might put some more rows in. We'll see how it looks at the end, and then decide what to do. I decided to do a few more tram lines, and I've just started the second row. If you look closely around here, maybe you can see a line of yellow. It's a really nice yellow to bring out the to complement the yellow that's in the background fabric. I'm now going to do I've just started an orange, a really nice orange, and it's like this. So that's going to be my next quilting line all the way round. Not sure how many I'll do. This bothers me a bit. I need to do, where are we? I need to do something here and here. They sort of stop suddenly. Not too sure what to do there, but it'll just grow and take its own shape, its own way. I like this actually. I think that's a really nice shape. There's some nice shapes going on, and that was nice. That's a nice shape too. I'm pleased I joined them where I did, because the two curvy bits, the two curvy lines there have made that really interesting shape. I need to work carefully with that, do something nice there. So anyway, I'm going to carry on and do maybe one, maybe two more lines and stuff them, and then sit back and see what's going on and see where I can take it from there. Well, I did carry on, and as you can see on the screen, I did get a little bit carried away, but it's something so absorbing that it's easy just to keep carrying on, and I thoroughly enjoyed doing this. Now, I've done the lines here exactly the same way as I did them on the demonstration and earlier on. I padded quite a lot of them, and I have left some, but very, very few unpadded, and it's a beautiful raised texture, and luckily enough it's coming out on the screen really, really well. Now, I've padded some of the larger areas like here, and here, and obviously here, round here, up there, around there, and here. Now, excuse the nail, the needle keeps going down the nail varnish, but anyway, this is done more or less the same way as this. These are done lengthwise from the start of the line and all the way round, following the curves, quite easy. These are done in a slightly different way and called Trapunto. And what we do at the back is turn to the back, and we actually split one of these. Now you have to imagine these are flat. As I say, I got carried away and I haven't left a flat one. You split one of these large areas. So this large area here, imagine that was flat. I turned over and I split that, just a little split to begin with, and then I started padding it with polyester wadding. And let me see if there's some, look, polyester wadding there. And then once I had enough wadding in here, all I did then was oversew it back up. So I've done that there, here, and there. Now I put the wadding in. I'm just going to show you. You see how I'll make this a little bit bigger. I want to show you how large this hole is at the top of the curve here. Turned it over, split it, and you can see here how large that hole actually is. It's quite a substantial hole there, and that started off as a split, and then with various tools, from a crochet hook to darning needle to a pokey tool, this, I've pushed the wadding in and managed to take it all the way along, making various little slits just to pull it down. So once the wadding is in and there's enough wadding, you might not want to pack yours too tight, you might want yours a bit looser, but there, look, it's gone in now, that's all in there. And then I'm using double sewing thread, a double sewing thread, little knot. Take the knot in there and lose it in amongst the wadding here, and just a few oversewn stitches. Now the back isn't going to show, so don't get too hung up on neatness. Just make sure the stitches are strong and secure and they're not going to come undone. That is the main thing. And there we go, look, that's as easy as that. So that now is oversewn, little knot, so that doesn't come undone. And I'll cut that off, and that's done. Now these tops here are where the pink wool has been taken through, and I've had to break the line to ensure that I can get the needle around the curve. So I've made little holes where you can see these. I brought the needle through and then I've pushed it back in, just to get it around the curves or through a narrow part, and that's the easiest way to do that. I put, oh, there's one there that needs to be oversewn. I need to oversew that one there. But apart from that, it's really, really easy to do, and it has a lovely, lovely effect. So I need to hang this up once again. That's it that way. That's it that way. I think I like it this way, but I need to hang this up again and decide what I'm going to do with these areas here. Got a nice area there and a similar area here. Now let me see if I can make that smaller so you can see there. That's better, isn't it? You can see them there. So the two areas here, those, I need to decide what I'm going to do. At the moment, I might follow, you see the lines underneath, I might follow those and do some lines, some running stitch along here, along those lines. I might do long stitch this time. So I've got the contrast between the small stitches and the long stitches. Yeah, I'm very tempted to do long stitches along there and along there, but then do I quilt them? So there's a couple of questions I need to ask myself and answer. Okay, so I'm not sure whether I'll start it off camera or not, but because I want this to be a very quick project, I probably will, because it's all very repetitive, and I think once you get the hang of how to do this, and it's just really padded running stitch, that's all, with a few bits to remember on the back, but there's nothing to it really, and it's just lovely to do. So anyway, as I said, I'm about to hang this on the wall now. It's 10 to 2 in the morning, and I think I'm going to call it a day. Okay, so hopefully, as I say, the next time you see it, I'm not sure it'll be on its way to being finished. Maybe the stitchery, the running stitch will be, and then it'll be time to decide, do I want to leave it like this or do I want to add something else? I fancy putting some bling on here, but let's get the lines in across if that's what I'm going to do. I might change my mind after seeing it hanging, but anyway, it's all exciting stuff. So I think I've made a little bit of a difference now. You can clearly see the two types of quilting that's been used, the corded Italian quilting and the Trapunto. I've done the lines going across there, I've done some Italian quilting there, and I've added more lines down the side, if you can see down here, and quilted them, and I think that gives it a nice outline. I've done a couple of lines going across there, but not as many as I did on the other side. I thought it was going to look too much. So the next thing I'm going to think about doing is some surface stitchery on the top. I'm not quite sure what stitching that I'm going to do, but I might follow some of these lines around in maybe chain or herringbone, along those lines, just to highlight some of the shapes that are going on there and to give it a little bit of added interest. But as I said, I'm not too sure at the moment what stitches I'm going to use. I have a rough idea, but I just need to work it out. You see, along here as well, I've added some more quilting and there, and I don't know whether to put some stitchery on those raised parts to give it more detail. Oh, so many questions at the moment, and I'm not really sure where it's going. So I've actually made a start on the stitching. I've done some rows of herringbone around here between the rows of running stitch for the corded quilting, and then I've changed stitch to this really lovely interlaced band stitch. Now, I don't think as a group we've done this before. I'm just going to make that a bit smaller, and it's a lovely stitch to do. I've got some here as well, there and up to there, and then it goes into herringbone all the way around there. But if you can see this stitch here, it's gorgeous, and it takes place between 2 rows of either back stitch or running stitch. So this corded quilting is ideal because it has the tram lines anyway. It has the 2 rows of stitches that we need. Now, if you're going to set out and do this with this in mind, you need to stagger your stitches, your running stitches, so the 2 rows, the stitches aren't exactly opposite. Okay, because this is a staggered stitch. Now I will show you how I've started it on here, but I don't think you're going to see it because it's so small. So I will put, where's that, I'll put a little film down there, a little video of a close-up demonstration of how to do this. But it is really easy, and it's just great. So I'm going to come through from the back between my chosen tram lines. I've got 8 strands here of a very fine metallic thread. It's not easy to work with. It's actually bought on the reel like cotton, and it's not my ideal thread to work with at all. It's slippery, it stretches, and it gets in an awful muddle. So I keep the lengths short. This is probably about 12 inches with a knot at the end. Right, now chosen tram lines are here. Now I didn't set out to do this stitch at the beginning, so my stitches are possibly evenly spaced, so I might have to take a few shortcuts here and there. I'm going to come out. Right, I'll come out if I can get on the screen. Where am I? Oh, there I am. All right, I'm going to come out there. Now this stitch, you then go over at a slant. Then going to go over at a slant to this one. So it's diagonal there. And I'm going to take the needle down through the top like that. So find the tram lines, your chosen tram lines. Bring your needle from the bottom and take it diagonally across. So diagonally across through the top, so the needle's pointing to the bottom. Then cross the thread over and bring the needle up from the bottom tram line and cross it again, and you should have a nice lacy effect, and just repeat that for as long as you need. And when finished, you should end up with a really nice lacy effect. It's really beautiful, and it'll look lovely over the Italian quilting. As I said earlier at the beginning of this, it's only a very short video just to show you a process really from design to finish in a couple of easy steps. So and that's only because I'm, as you know, and you're probably all sick of hearing about, because I'm moving. So this is more or less a placeholder for the next video, if you like. Now I've added some more stitches. I've added the old favourite down here, feather stitch, down here and around here, just to emphasize this lovely shape here, and the same here, shape there. That is actually half feather stitch and half chain stitch there. I've also added some more there, and here we have twisted chain. I don't know if you can see this thick yellow line here, it's a V shape, that's twisted chain. There's also blanket stitch, the dark blue that you can see here and here and round here, that is dark, that is blanket stitch. That is the lacy stitch that we have just done. And what else? Oh, cross stitch. And I think that was all. So there are no new stitches apart from the last one that I did the demonstration for. I don't believe there's any new stitches. I was very tempted to put a raised chain band on here, going down, but then I thought no, it might be over egging the pudding just a little bit. And of course that lovely dark green there is chain. Now I'll make it bigger just so you can have a look, and it's lovely to do. I haven't got time to make it up or even to put it in a picture frame. It's just going to go into my craft, into a craft suitcase now, and goodness only knows when I'll see it again. But it would make a really nice pocket on a garment, I think, or it would make a nice journal cover, a long journal, depending on the size that you make. It could make all sorts of things. In dressmaking terms, it could make a nice cuff, not as deep or as big, but it would make a nice dressmaking item. There's all sorts of things. A little bag. I would like to have put some beads on there and maybe turn that into some sort of evening bag. Maybe next time I will do it bigger. Next time I might not do the trapunto, and then I think it opens up more options for a finished product, if you like. But I am pleased with it. I do love this. I love the colours of it all, and I just hope you can see the lovely colours on the screen. So I'm going to finish it there and carry on with the moving thing, and hopefully that will be done and dusted soon, in a couple of days anyway. I'd just like to say a big thank you to new subscribers and to everyone who's taken time to comment on YouTube, the comments for the last video, and on Facebook. And I'm sorry, I just haven't had time to answer them. Everything's been so chaotic and tiring. I just haven't had time to answer any of them, and I really do apologise. But hopefully, I mean, that is just one of those things at the moment, and in a couple of weeks' time things will improve, and I'll just carry on as usual. Hope to have a few surprises up my sleeve in the coming year. A way of developing the group, the channel. So if you have any ideas, I'd be interested to hear them, just to see at this stage if any of your ideas actually match mine. It's all very exciting stuff. But anyway, thank you for watching. If you've got this far, thank you for watching. And I know I've used the term Italian quilting and corded quilting, and those are often interchangeable. So they mean the same basically, unless you know different. Unless where you come from they mean something else. But anyway, do take care out there, and I hope you're all safe. I dread looking at the news because of the weather conditions in parts of the world where I know some of you are living. So please take care, and I'll be back with you soon. And please don't stop putting your comments on Facebook and on the bottom. Even though I'm not up to answering them yet, I will get round to them. Okay, so take care everyone, be good.